Hi friends, and welcome back to my creative space. Today's guest is Josh Russo. He's a creative producer at Madak, a young and vibrant branding and marketing agency making a name for themselves in Seattle and beyond. Josh wears many hats, handling video production, photography, web content, and social media for Madak. This episode was recorded last year when we sat down and chatted about what we do as creative producers, why it's important to have strategy for content, and all the key lessons we've learned. Enjoy.
When you were at my stage starting out, what is something you wish you had known sooner instead of, maybe just now finding out or found out 6 months down the road?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And the answer is I wish I knew everything, but that's obviously not reality. So I think one thing that really helped, and there's a lot of things that can help, right? But there's one thing that that we continue to employ right now is having strategy and having planning sessions before we shoot and edit a video. And so what people may not know is, on the surface, a video may sound like a really easy thing to do. For example, all of our iPhones and all our smartphones have video recording capabilities. So it's not hard to record a video. You can do that right now with a phone, and because of the quality, you're able to create these really nice videos just from, a phone or a really cheap DSLR camera. But the thing that's tricky about video is being sure that you're telling a story and creating content that's meaningful, educational, or entertaining for your intended target audience. And so this is where strategy and planning comes in. It's really important to sit down with strategists like Morgan and Karen or even Adam and talk about what the direction is for this video. What do we want people to think? What do we want people to say about this video? Do we want this to be very reshareable? Is this an educational thing? So having the ability to know what the purpose of the video is beforehand really helps to drive the shooting and the editing and the re-editing and where it lives on which platform. Again, you don't need fancy equipment to make a really good video. People do it with their phones, and I've seen 6-second iPhone videos that made me hysterically laugh, and some of them may not have a script associated with it, but in a sense there is this level of planning and scripting and strategizing beforehand that can really make a video more intentional.
Makes sense. And then getting to the point also, so hey, get the story, 30 seconds, here's the point, and a script helps a lot with that because you know what the point you're trying to make and you already have the shots for that, so it makes making a 30-second straight to the point video a lot easier than, you can say the same thing in 30 minutes or you can say it in 30 seconds.
Right. And it's a lot harder to say an idea in 30 seconds than it is in 30 minutes, right?
It's a lot easier to catch the attention in 30 seconds than have someone sit there for 30 minutes and get the same point.
Yes. People's times are precious, and, especially in the world of digital ads, right? How many ads have you seen today, right? And how many did you scroll past, right? How many of them just kind of are a distant memory, right? And so the ability to make these digital ads that really grab people's attention, whether it's on the hilarious side or whether it's on the educational side, or maybe a combination of both, right? That can really hook people in. To add to that, when I first started, going back to kind of your original question, when I first started, these videos would take 20, 30, 40 hours to make. And the reason why was because there was so many re-edits, because we didn't have a clear goal for a particular video. Also to kind of backtrack, I was working on a lot of Madak videos. And so Madak was my client, and so I would make content for Madak. And what happened was, we didn't have a clear goal of what the video was, and so there was a lot of back and forth between the two of us. And a lot of it was because we just didn't know what the whole goal of the video was, or what the purpose is. And so right now what we have is a streamlined process in which I will sit down with the strategist or with Adam and really nail out what the message is and what the purpose of the video is. So when I do the editing, when I do the shooting and everything, there will only be maybe 1 or 2 re-edits, and there'll be more simple and detailed edits rather than story changes.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I'm going through the process. I'm where you were, a year ago.
Yeah.
So, call me Allen Jr. But no, but I think too, with you guys already establishing that process, it's helping me move a lot quicker. And so, the next guy's going to come in and have it really easy.
You hope, right? Yeah, that's the goal too, right?
Right.
Is to always build a process that, allows for ease and accessibility for the next person to come in, so.
And the less time we spend trying to find that story or make the story or create the story while editing, the more content we can produce. We can produce 5 videos in the time that,
Yeah, speed and quality, right? So we don't want to sacrifice the quality for the speed, but we also don't want to sacrifice the speed for the quality, right? So I'm talking to more, general companies who are interested in like either creating their own digital team or hiring out Madak as their digital team. So there's a happy medium between quality and quantity. And where that lies with you is totally subjective, but it's up to you, right? Quantity is less subjective, quality is a little bit more subjective, right? And so maybe all you have is your iPhone or your DSLR from 5 years ago, and all you're able to take are not selfies, but like video selfies of yourself, maybe like a 5-10 second like little inspirational thing, or a little pitch, or a little like whatever, right? That may be the extent of your quality, but if you can produce 5 of those content, that's 5 pieces of content, right?
And how many of those do you see a day?
Right. So again, the market gets to decide where that is. So, if we see an iPhone video and it's like, kind of whatever, right? We may just scroll past it. But on the flip side, maybe they're talking about something really important to me, or important to the context, I'm really about like entrepreneurship and creativity and stuff like that. So maybe, an ad comes up and it's just a guy with a phone, but he's doing like these really cool, like, animations in the background, and he's talking about something that I'm like deeply passionate about. I may actually stop, right?
Because he got your attention.
Yeah. So, who is it to say that, just because it's an iPhone quality doesn't mean that it won't translate, right? Obviously, yeah.
No, I was going to say, as long as you're getting your point and your story and whatever you're trying to sell across, whether it's iPhone or, you're using a high-end camera, either way, you're still reaching the same audience for the most part, and you're getting the message out there, and just grab the attention is the main thing.
Yeah, definitely. And so, so kind of my suggestion for you, and then for everybody too, is, definitely, consider like putting out content. If you don't put out any content, maybe try like a piece, like a week, I don't know, something that's like within your level, right? And obviously, taking into account like the industry that you're in and like all these other things, like some things may be more visual, like what we're doing, some things may be a little less visual, right? So you may be putting more like writing content out there than a photo or video, right? We're just creative producers, so obviously photos, videos, visual things are our forte, and so we're going to push those out, as much as we can for Madak and for our other clients.
And those things are going to continuously to get better the more that you make and put out there also. So, start out the first one. My first video wasn't great, but
my first video wasn't great either.
But you keep doing it and you keep learning those little mistakes and things just to make it better and just push yourself and, and then now that you're teaching me all of these things that you've learned, having a refresher now, and you're like, oh yeah, I forgot about that, or oh, this is a neat little tool that I forgot, because you're ahead now. Yeah. And so you're doing other things, and now teaching me and showing me these things, get to refresh your mind a little bit too.
And you never stop learning too. Like,
no.
Honestly, I've learned a few things from you too. Like just some things that I forgot, or some things that I didn't know a tool existed, and then like I see you doing that on your computer, I'm like, wait, how do you do that? You know? And so like, I'm not above, you know, learning from other people, whether it is from you or from like the strategists like Karen Morgan, from Adam, or from our graphic designer Elizabeth. I'm always like learning new ways to do things, or learning new ways to integrate content into their strategy or into graphic design. You know, one of the cool things that I'm doing now is a lot more animation, and so I'm taking stuff from Elizabeth, who's our graphic designer, and turning that to life. You know, whether that be an icon or a little truck thing, or like, you know, just photos, or adding like, you know, text animation. It just kind of adds that extra dimension to the content that we're doing, right? And hopefully that does, you know, fingers crossed, we don't know, but hopefully it does better on social, because it catches more people's attention.
Right.
That way.
And then with both of us working together now, we're bringing two perspectives in, so we're just gonna get stronger as it is.
Thanks, Josh, for sitting down and talking with me. We've got a lot of work to do, so we're gonna get back to it.